Such a great introduction. So it saves me the first slide. I'm Mark ten Bak. I'm a delivery manager at Nexus. Nexus, for those who don't know Nexus, we are an IT company located near the A28 highway. I have a passion for product innovation and I enjoy working with new technologies. And let's take a trip back to the past. Last year I was sitting like you in the audience and I was sitting over there, the proof, together with some colleagues, and I saw those nice AI talks, and in one of the sessions one of our customers was sitting next to me, and I said, well, I see some great opportunities for your business to improve. Let's do it together and stand here next year together on stage to share our experience. Unfortunately, during his budget, he hadn't that much budget at that moment. So we didn't do it for that customer. But for another customer, we built a solution. And I thought, let's pursue the idea to share the knowledge on such a great conference with other developers, other managers, what we experienced last period while building an application built on an LLM in Azure. Before I begin my talk, I want to give you a little warning. Almost all this content in this presentation is generated by OpenAI. So if you see some strange text on the presentation sheet or people with 3 fingers, you know why. I left it in on purpose because it gives you a good reflection of the technology of today. Hopefully, maybe if I'm standing here next year, the presentations will be better, hopefully. And then I will make a reflection of this year. So hopefully it's amusing to see, and hope it won't distract too much from my talk.
So you were not at the conference last year?
Yeah, I was here at the conference.
It was a fake photo, right?
Almost on content. Sharp, yeah, thanks. The presentation overview, the challenge, an introduction to the challenge we took, the degradation of the previous solutions, the transition to the new solution, the development journey and the development challenges we faced, the key takeaways and the lessons learned from this project. And questions at the end. So if you have any questions, please hold on to them to the Q&A session afterwards. But I took one exception. Okay, let's first start what it's all about. One of our customers receive a huge amount of data every day with data reports in various formats. They receive it by mail, in plain text, PDF, XML, and all different formats. They try to process those data from the reports and take the data into their backend. And they did it by hand. Initially, the process was manually, but it required a significantly amount of human effort to process all the data and all the errors which comes with it. So you would say, as IT guy, it's easy to solve. Just introduce a web service where all the data suppliers can enter their data, and then it's easy to fix. The manual labor is gone, and it's easy to solve. Although it seems straightforward, there are many data providers which provides data. And those data providers also serve other numerous customers. So introducing a service only for this customer would require significant change of other systems. And even if you try to reverse the process, like you're going to pull the data from the data providers, you face extensive interaction with other strange various IT systems. And continually to manually enter or retype the data was also not an option. Yeah, you see the text on the wrong side of the monitor, correct? Another company previous built an OCR solution for that customer. The advantages of the OCR solutions are enhanced productivity and efficiency, the improved accuracy, and it reduces error, and it was cost saving. Although the solutions worked well initially, several drawbacks came apparent over time. It's prone to document and format changes. The data suppliers send their documents in their format to the customer. So if they want to change the logo or put it on another page, you can imagine what will happen with an OCR solution. Complexity and cost of implementations and on regular changing documents formats. And it has limited self-learning adaptability. So over time, the effectiveness of the solution degraded and the manual corrections became necessary and errors and inconsistency reappeared, diminishing the initial benefits of the automation. Another complication arose when the OCR solutions needed to be migrated from on-premise to Azure. It was not compatible with that environment. As a result, the customer asked New Nexus to think along and develop solutions built on Azure, incorporating a smart AI technology to meet their evolving needs. We designed the following solutions in Azure. The mail arrives in the special company's inbox, which serves as a starting point for the data process workflow. When the email arrives, the company in the company mailbox, the mail storage logic app is triggered and the raw mail will be written to blob storage. Then from the Azure blob storage, an Azure function is triggered, and the Azure function will take the raw mail, subtract all possible data documents, and convert the PDFs, if they are available, into one large image, which contains all the pages of the PDF document. You may ask why not use multiple images. One person warned us that if you feed an LLM with a lot of images, it gets a little bit lazy and it will not take all the data from the latest images you will send. So that's why we made one large image. We didn't try it, we didn't validate it, but we took that warning into account for this project. The Azure function will take the text from the documents, from the mail, together with the image, and it will send it to Azure Prompt Flow. And Azure Prompt Flow will execute the prompts and then will send the result back in a JSON format to the Azure function. If the data processing went well, we put it in exact, and there the company can continue working with the data. As last trigger, we will notify the mailbox that the mail has been processed, and if something goes wrong, we leave the document as not read. So the employees over there know a certain document could not be processed, or that the document belongs not to their business process, because they also receive other mail in between. During the development of this solution, we had to face some development challenges I would like to share today. For the input of prompt flow, we send the text and the images, if available, to prompt flow. And you may ask, why not only send the text, but why do you also process the images? That's because some of the documents contains visual signs, and that represent data, such as a check mark, like the quality is met of a certain test, or it was not successful. So that's why we use both of them. And another thing we use both of them is because if you only send the text, the LLM misses the layout of the data. And sometimes it will come later back in this presentation. You need that context. What we tried to achieve was to have one main prompt and some, if really necessary, some sub-prompts for the optimization of some documents or from some data providers. What we did is with the main prompt, and if there was a sub-prompt necessary, the sub-prompt was concatenated to the main prompt, so you get a larger prompt. And if you want to do all things in your main prompt, you would also affect with a little change all the other documents. So that's why we chose to have some sub-prompts in it. While developing the vision logic, the vision model, I don't know who of you are using Azure prompt flow, and the vision model became obsolete to the vision to AI Studio, and it was changed to model 4.0. As a result, the change of the model needed also a little bit tweaking of the prompt. It just behaves a little bit different, so we had to do some tweaking by changing the model. We also noticed that not all OpenAI models were available through Azure Prompt Flow. We also need to utilize only a few functions inside Prompt Flow, and keep this in mind. During this presentation, I will tell you why we changed from Prompt Flow to another solution. What we received during development was error 424. I don't know if there's anyone in the audience who knows this error. Now, in the introduction, I have over 24 years of software development. I neither encounter it. So when one of our developers came to me, Marco, we got the error 424. Do you know what it is? I had to look it up. But it is an error. It's meant, it's a HTTP error. It depends means dependency failed. Means that a request which failed because another request also failed in the operation. So you send something to prompt flow, you get this error. So one of the sub-processes had an error, but you don't know what sub-process it is because it's a gateway. It is a solution where you send your data to. So in the end, we could pinpoint it to the file size of the image. If we saw large documents, we got this error. And if you make and you send a smaller document, you didn't get that error. So what we did, this is a large document. It's one big image. And what we came up is to reduce the white spaces in those documents. So then you get a smaller token size, so it's cheaper for the processing. And what we end up was this document. And even in this document, you could get some benefits if you would cut out this part. But then we got some really knowledge about this document and how it's built up. We didn't do it, and some of the improvements we can do in the upcoming release to reduce the token size. After this adjustment, the error was resolved, and we never saw that error again. So I think we were right. It was something to do with the image size. But it's something you can account during your development, and then you have to do the puzzle. Another important point, I already talked about tokens, is that we utilize Azure functionality, which comes with associated costs. During the development, we opted for a separate subscription to better manage the costs and to predict the cost of the project during development time. Fortunately, Azure provides an excellent analysis tool which provides valuable information on how are you on the costs and what would be the expected amount at the end of the month based on your history. As you can see, this is not real data. Another thing we faced was an error 500. During development, we encountered additional issues when developers will work together on the same solutions. We frequently received error 500 from prompt flow, suggesting a restriction on the maximum simultaneous request to prompt flow. Additional, we experienced around 3 o'clock, prompt flow became really slow. It was just sitting behind and wait for the prompt to complete. For development, it's a problem. In production, it's not a problem because you won't do real live data, or you don't have to process it in real time. Since our solutions was built up with modular components, it was easy to swap one functionality for another. As a result, we replaced prompt flow with Microsoft Azure Open AI stack, and in the updated architecture, we moved we moved the prompts to the Azure function. Make it easier for developers to modify the prompt and to use the prompt in unit tests. So we could compare also different prompts and do regression tests on the prompts we made. Was this the ultimate solutions? Not entirely. We work with new technology, and it's crucial to prepare for change as you work with new technology and adapt as needed. Fortunately, Microsoft gives a warning well in advance and allow us to change accordingly. They also provide some recommendations on the necessary steps to take, which is somewhat helpful what to do. And I say somewhat helpful, not always. However, with Microsoft Open AI, we did not always receive accurate response from the LLM. In some data, in some data tables, there could be no data at the cell. In the cell marked by the green square, we requested the value corresponding to this specific value combination. The LLM generates a value, and even though the value does not exist, we receive a value. So we thought, hey, what's happening? That brings us to the topic hallucination. Yay. During development, we observed some behavior and asked the LLM, are you sure about that answer? And then the reaction from the LLM was, oh, sure. Sorry, here you got the correct value. And followed by complete random value of the table. So what we did, we attempted to tweak the prompt and to set the LLM temperature to a very low value, but that did not solve our issues. What did help was to adjust the image brightness and contrast to make the vision lines more visible, and that brings us to the part that sometimes you have to turn around your problem and not going straight forward. You just only modify your prompt. Talking about outside of the box thinking, consider this. What do you think will happen if we ask an LLM to generate an image of an old man without glasses? Anyone?
Mirror image?
Here's a generated image of a man without glasses. Therefore, if you want to achieve the desired result, you need to describe what you want and not what you don't want. Even though the prompt may not be that straightforward as you would expect a prompt. So if you ask generate an image of an old man where you can see his eyes very clearly, you get an image of an old man without glasses. So you have to ask something else to get the same result, or a better result. So how did we ultimately tackle the hallucination problem? We asked the LLM the same questions multiple times and compared those results. And if the results were consistent, we trusted the outcome. But during the start phase, also a human will do some tests to see if this is right. Next week, the application will go into shadow production, which believes will give us additional insights, and hopefully I can share those insights next year on the stage, if you like this presentation. What were the key takeaways of our project? If you need to build an application built on LLMs, you need to prepare for change. Do a lot of regression testing, and think out of the box. Adjust your input. And monitor token usage during development, so you know what will happen if you go into production. And focus on what you want to achieve while prompting, and not on what you not want to achieve while prompting. And think about hallucination strategies, and don't ask, are you sure? Because you will get another answer. And make a separate Azure subscription to monitor the costs, so you know what it will be. I see I talked very fast. What I want to challenge you is, last year I was sitting over there like you. Go develop your own applications, and please share your experience and knowledge next year on this stage. Hopefully we will meet again there at the stage, and I would love to hear your experience. And if you have any feedback or you know some tricks, please share them. It's a nice conference to share all those knowledge. So thank you for joining this session. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them. If you want to contact me, please scan this QR code. You get my contact details. And there's enough time left for questions.